Alright, so I'm going to do a tutorial on the uni to uni knot. So you can use this in anything. You can tie leader of any size to any braid or other similar lines, mono, fluoro, whatever. Does not matter. And basically you just take your two lines. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to run them through my guides because I haven't done that yet. Okay, so in this particular case, I'm fishing with shiners and I'm using a rod that's a little bit heavier because I'm fishing for a decent sized fish with this. So I'm using some pretty heavy, I believe it's 20-pound braid. You take your two lines going in two different directions. So I have my main line coming from the rod tip down that end, and then I've got my leader coming from this end, which could have a lure on the end of it. Whatever, you know, or you could just leave it on the spool, tie the knot first, and then cut your leader to however long you want it. So, it does not matter. Just make sure it's tense on that end and not getting like all tangled while you try to do this. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to take these two lines and you're going to line them up and give yourself a lot of room when you're starting. Don't worry about wasting line when you're learning this knot. Just waste that line. Alright, so first thing I like to do, it doesn't particularly matter which end you start with. I particularly like to start with the braid, so you make a loop in that braid. You make it bigger. If you're, learning this knot, you could do all of this on a large scale. So you can even open that up, pull more line, keep your tag end nice and long too, so you can grab that, and you're still pinching them together. You've never let go of that. You take that tag end of that same braid that you just made a loop with, and you just start feeding it through there. And depending on the diameter of your line and the type of line, may want to use more knots, may want to use less loops. And when I say knots, I mean loops through. And you just keep passing it through. I like to go 5 to 6 times through. Pull that tight, and that's your first knot. Just leave that snug. You're still pinching here. You have not let go there at all. Now, leave that alone. Then, you're going to come over here and you're going to loop this one. If you need more slack, you slide this down, pulling from the leader that way. Give yourself some more room. Take this loop. You don't have to pinch down here now because that's holding the two lines together, so you don't have to pinch that. But you want to maybe pinch here while you pass this mono or fluoro leader, whatever you're using, through over both lines, through the loop 5 to 6 times. You can twirl it however you need to get it through there, 5 to 6 times, maybe more, maybe less, depending on the size of the line, the size of fish you're using. You want to make your knot smaller or bigger. Then pull that one tight. With this thicker leader I'm using, it's going to be a little bit tougher. You might have to pinch it and get that tight, but you essentially want both of these knots. This is a good one to see if you can see that. I don't know how clear this is going to be, but you want it to spiral tightly. So I've got one mini braid spiral on this end, and I've got one fluoro or mono spiral on this end. Next step, you're going to lick it between those two knots, so it has a slight lubrication. Then you're going to pull tight from your two lines, not the tag ends. You don't need to touch the tag ends. And you just pull until those slide together nice and tight, and that is not coming apart. Then you want to take either braid scissors or some sort of nail clipper, and you want to just clip those as tightly as possible. And yeah, you just snip these very, very closely, and then voila.